Good morning, everyone. Once again, this is Blackforexgroup coming to you with another market analysis video for this morning. This morning, we're going to be looking at the USDCHF, the USD Swiss franc. But before we get started to break down this currency pair, we have to say that this video is for educational purposes only. This is not financial advice. We all know why you're here. You want to find good, relevant Forex content that can help improve your ability as a trader and help put some more money in your pocket. So with that being said, let's break down this currency pair. All right. Now, before we get to breaking down the technical analysis of it all, let's talk about the fundamentals of what's going on with the USD and CHF, starting with the CHF. Now, the CHF had some very poor economic news come out about it during the beginning part of this trading week. And also, CHF is one of the major three European currencies. And that currency is also being affected by the European war between Russia and Ukraine that has destabilized the whole European economy and caused a lot of FUD, which is fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the European economy. And being that Russia is one of its closest trading partners, they have also put sanctions against Russia, which is also having a rippling effect on their economy, which is further inflation and driving up their prices for natural gas and things that's related to gas, such as transporting goods back and forth. Okay. Now, as we also stated in previous videos, that the USD has some very poor economic news that came out about it yesterday around 8:30, and it also has some poor economic news that came out today around 8:32 with the retail sales and such, which makes perfect sense because people are only spending money on what they need and not what they want. Okay. Then also the USD is still suffering from inflation. Today they're going to supposed to increase the interest rate to try to combat that inflation, but we're going to see how that affects the markets, and that news drops around 2 p.m. Okay. So with that being said, now let's talk about the technical analysis of it. All right. So for a long time we were trading within this range here. Then we broke out of the range. Now, this breakout doesn't mean that due to the USD being on the left-hand side, that the USD is so much more significantly stronger than the CHF. Once again, we're having a battle between two weak currencies, and it's not about which one is stronger than the other. It's just about which one is much more weaker than the other. Okay, and the CHF has been weaker than the USD, which is to understand because even though they're both dealing with inflation, even though they're both dealing with a lot of uncertainty in their economies, right? There's a simple, very observable fact. There is a war being fought on the European continent that's destabilizing the European continent's economy, and there's no war being fought on the North American continent. Okay, so that's a very obvious fact. So the CHF is going to be much, much weaker than the USD. All right. So let's talk about the possibilities of what may happen. We may continue to range in this area here, have a slight drop to here before we go up. We may range, go down to this area here, or possibly go as low as this area here before we continue to go up again. Okay. Now, is there a possibility of price turnover? Yes, this is. That is if the USD becomes much, much significantly weaker than the CHF, then what we will see is an aggressive push down range here and then a push back down into the consolidation area where we have been at for the last about approximately 30 to 45 days. Okay, so one more time, let's go over the scenarios. We may continue to range on this area here, go up, may drop as far as this area here, or even low as this area here before it continues to go back up in the uptrend. Okay, or if we do have a possibility of price turnover, we will have an aggressive push down range, possibly a push straight back into the range, or we can range out, have a pathetic push up, and then go push back into our consolidation area that we've been at for a long time. Okay, so I hope that information was helpful for you guys. Happy trading.